You guys look cute. Did you call each other this morning?
It was me and you yesterday.
Oh, was it? I'm glad y'all didn't point that out yesterday. We are back on site this morning and I am run down. I've had all my kids this week, wife's out of town, coaching basketball every night, sleep deprived. Dude, I feel like I cannot drink enough coffee to make myself feel good. But hopefully today we're gonna finish putting everything on this roof to where we can be ready for the roof sheathing and get this thing dry.
Wow,
Yeah.
That's a lot, dude.
It is
For
a
someone
lot.
who doesn't feel good, that's a big task.
Oh, I feel great.
I mean, you look good.
Thanks.
That's all that matters.
All right, we're wrapping up the main body of the overhangs here, and this is our last board at the top. It's a rip,
Okay.
but it's not exactly a parallel rip, right?
Oh,
it's very close, actually, surprisingly close considering the amount of distance we've traveled, right?
Yeah, and it's because Arlo and I and Jason spent a long time, and Ray, with chalk lines and all kind of stuff, getting everything with the overhangs squared up to whatever on the main body of the house.
It was time well spent. So what we're doing is taking a measurement of the width of the rip at every outrigger, meaning every 4 feet down the length of that section. I'm making a mark. Okay, the rip measures exactly this at this point. I'm moving over 4 feet and measures exactly this rip at this point. And I'm going to connect the dots and make the rip, and it should make a fairly straight looking rip that will actually line up flush with the ends of each of the tails. How's it look?
Mine look awesome.
Oh, it's so awesome.
Oh my gosh.
We're applying this 2x6 tongue and groove decking here out on the rafters on the porch roof. And I really like applying this stuff down where we have a big fat rafter, because where you have butt joints, you got plenty of room to nail. You're not worried about things splitting out. And that's really in our favor for not wasting material. Let me explain. Right here, I have some like 4-foot pieces that I can mix in and use very easily because we have lots of room to nail butt joints in here, like a lot of them. But I don't want to just use all 4-foot pieces, but I don't just want to use all long pieces. And the reason is we would waste too much material. This porch,
And this is expensive.
yes, it is. This porch is like 12'6".
Yeah.
So I bought 16-foot material, right? So am I going to throw away the almost 4-foot scrap on every piece? No. I can actually reuse that cutoff. This is one here, and do like a row that is made of 3 pieces to make that 12-foot. Now, I don't want to repeat that row of scraps, 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 because the look underneath can begin to look scrappy. Not only that, if there are any variations in the widths of these boards, and they are a natural material, so that is possible, you could begin to track off and get higher on one side or the other. So I like to do 1 row of scraps, and then 1 row continuous of 1 solid piece, and then just interject and incorporate those scraps as needed, but not in repeating rows of scraps.
Jason and I have got almost all these overhangs cut straight, and when the dust gets on the roof off the saw, it's like ice. So don't walk over there. I blew it off on this side. I'm gonna try to go down that way so that it's, you know, not getting dust all over the roof.
Yeah, good idea.
We're finally ready to go ahead and put our zip sheathing on the main body of the house. But first we have to run purlins like this one that's already run. It was really just for spacing the rafters on a 19.2 center going up the roof. And then this is gonna blow our minds as well as yours. We're gonna run the paneling oriented long ways up the roof instead of across because of the orientation of our purlins. We've never done it this way, but it's what we're doing. So our marks here are the centers. I think let's mark 1 3/4 down on all of them. I don't know why I marked the centers. Because you can't see the centers when we're putting the board down right on the center.
You guys.
So we're racking our brains forever about why our first panel here doesn't seem to be square with the bottom of the overhang here when it's squared up to this fascia. And we finally figured it out. Thank you, Jason.
Yeah, I measured 25 up here instead of 24. So when we pulled our number, it's not square.
I don't know why would it matter, just an inch.
Yeah, so the overhang, even though it looks square, is actually an inch wider up there. Is that what we're saying?
Yeah.
That's because it's taller, and then when the rain blows in, you should have a little more.
So what we're saying is, let's, we got a saw? Let's cut it straight.
Yep.
All right.
Do that.
Did you measure it?
No, I was just trying to cover it for you.
Oh. Oh, you know what?
Tell me who did it. Arlo.
Okay, listen. I assumed all the first boards that were put up were at exact numbers.
Oh, no.
So I didn't measure anything because it was like way shorter.
Didn't measure anything.
Yeah, I was the one that measured it. Jason was trying to cover for me. But the rest of all the boards, the first one that we put up was correct on numbers, and then the rest were just staggered edge.
No, I need a broom.
So,
Yeah, that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Should have measured it.
so
Double check me.
24 there.
Please double check.
25 was up there. Yep, that looks like it. Yep. Arlo!
Arlo!
Arlo's not here. We can blame him.
I mean, it is an honest mistake. Like you said, we have been doing that on every one, the first board, just so you have something to measure your 24 off
Yeah.
of. And so, yeah. But you know what? It's good that we found it and we didn't just go, oh, we'll just start throwing sheets in, and then out down the road go, oh, crap.
So what tipped us off was we were squared up to this line, but the bottom edge was all sawtooth looking to that line. Like it was not parallel with it. Yeah, definitely broom. Saw, scalpel. There we go, 0 to 1 inch. Gonna hack that. And unfortunately, Ramel got stranded here because she locked her keys in her car. And during that time, she thought she'd be helpful and pick up all the scraps. So we already had a zillion of these cutoffs drop to the ground, and she already picked them all up. She's gonna get back and be like, what? What happened? Check that out.
I know, dude. We saw you up there. It was like snowing all over you.
That's like the sawdustiest I've ever been.
I think that's a...
Sawdust.
isn't that a city in Ohio?
Sandusky's?
Oh, that's Sandusky. Never mind.
So this is going super fast, putting the panels on these 3.5 inch wide strips and having stuff to walk on and not worrying about our nails missing because it's 3.5 inches wide instead of 1.5 inches is really nice. And it feels stiffer. Oh, dude, I lost it in the sun. I got blinded in the sun. Ah, it did hit me right in the finger though.
All right.
All right. Can we sing?
Is it Jamie's birthday?
Oh, I forgot it's Jamie's birthday.
Saturday.
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow?
Yep.
Oh, tomorrow. Oh,
Okay.
good. It's even
Wow.
closer.
I totally forgot.
It's my own brother. I didn't even know it. Ramel has brought you a birthday gift from me. Jamie, looks
Yeah,
like
right,
breakfast and a candle and some nice flowers.
The flowers
so
are
nice.
for Jamie.
Flower. Oh, for my wife.
Yes, from you.
Okay.
Oh,
You can
wow.
claim it.
That's awfully nice. I thought it was like, oh wow, she got me. But my wife's name is Jamie also,
Is it her birthday
and
too?
no, but she is.
You don't get your wife flowers for your birthday?
No, that's how it should work. Well, thank you. Hey,
You're welcome.
You were too kind. This doesn't happen all the time, so thank you so
Yeah.
much. All
Nice.
right. Thank
How are you?
Good.
Sorry, a little left hand handshake's a little awkward. So this is Devin. He's been doing our roofs for a long time, and he's going to check it out. We're going to discuss whether you want us to do the slats for your metal roof. We're going to do yellow pine, 1x,
Okay.
or if you want to do it.
No, I mean,
No, I don't want to do that. One note that I want to mention before we get going is we do need to make sure on all these places where it's an exposed soffit that the fastener length you use, I don't think you're going to be using a fastener that's like 3 or 4 inches long.
no, 2 3/8.
Okay, so it should be fine. You should be able to use that everywhere. Okay. I've seen this happen before. Where was it? That we popped a bunch of...
Well, where we did it,
I
we
think
didn't
so.
do that. No, I have seen it done with shingles though, where
That's what I'm talking about.
People have used 3/4 inch tongue and groove on the roof,
Yes.
just like we did. except we're using 1.5 and packing it out with 2 more layers.
Yeah.
But they just straight up nailed shingles down to a 3/4 layer.
Yes.
And just
blew the
totally,
bottom to pieces.
completely ruined it. I mean, and the homeowner, of course, you can imagine, was very upset.
Yeah.
And didn't pay for the job, and I don't know whatever happened. But, yeah. You didn't do that one, did you?
No.
Okay, good. Today's video is brought to you by Cable Bullet, and today we're checking out their signature series cable rail line, and these are some of the components, and they got some tricks up their sleeves that you're not going to believe. These end posts have pre-threaded holes for your cable terminations, and what really makes Cable Bullet different as far as the cable goes is it doesn't use conventional turnbuckles. The termination itself has like a little set screw. It's an Allen screw, and all you have to do is just tighten that screw and it tensions your cables. Super smart. One of the things about this railing system that really takes it to the next level is they've accounted for what is probably the most common problem I've ever had with mounting posts like this to a deck, is that the deck framing or the decking is never level, and therefore your post is never plumb, and they have built in these Allen screws that you can tighten down into a leveling plate or just down into the deck surface if you have a solid enough surface, and actually plumb your post without shims and without washers. This is really a genius feature, and I wish I had done this on my own house.
It's like, it's a micro adjustment, really.
It is, yeah.
What it is.
Yeah, so there's 4 of them, so you can adjust any of the corners or a whole side or just one corner.
So you're telling me I don't have to get washers and shove shims in there?
That's exactly right. So this just gives you something more solid for those to go against if you have pine decking or something soft, but that is just next level. And then you have this collar that comes down and hides all your fasteners and all of your adjusters.
All right, good job, Cable Bullet. You did it. You made the rail that I cannot make at home.
They also have intermediate posts, which are thinner, and the cables just run right through those because they're intermediate. And another component I have here are these spacer bars, and they allow you to get a little more distance between your posts on your cable rail without the cables being able to deflect or spread apart. And this is a really cool component I've never seen offered in another cable railing system, and Jamie hasn't either. Again, these posts are architectural grade powder coated. They look flawless. There's no welds. This is just a pressure fit with pins, so it looks completely seamless around here. A lot of these have this big jaggy weld around there.
You mean like the ones that I do?
Yeah. So these are just like super, super nice, and they have great customer support. If you're looking to do a cable rail system yourself on your own house or like on a new build, it's really worth checking out Cable Bullet. Right now, Cable Bullet is running an early Black Friday sale, November 15th through the 26th. It'll get you 10% off their signature series if you use code BF10. Thank you, Cable Bullet, for sponsoring our video. Let's get back to work. All right, Devin, did you get all the information?
I did. I did well besides the dimensions on the metal.
Oh, you still got to measure it.
Yeah.
You've been just talking to him this whole time?
Hey,
Oh my gosh, you gotta run, dude.
No,
You just gotta take off
it's the
sprinting.
details, yeah.
instant ice.
All right,
We
we'll let
got
you
everything.
measure.
All right.
Stop talking. Is that Uncle Larry?
Yep.
So the question is whether a piece of metal this long, from top to bottom, from here to here, is too long because of expansion and contraction. In that length, will it eventually try to snap the screws that are through the metal?
Okay.
That's the question. What do you think?
We've never had problems with it
Okay.
before. I mean, with you guys doing it, the screws every 20 inches or
Yeah.
so, you should be able to, it's going to keep that from happening.
Okay.
So,
He feels good about it.
Yeah.
Jamie's still, he's checking.
He's checking.
He doesn't believe you is what I'm saying.
yeah.
So-
as long as you have enough hands on the job,
Yeah.
to handle that long piece of
Oh
metal,
yeah.
so
Well, how long was that?
33.5.
33.5. Yeah, that's pretty long.
Yeah.
Can you get 33.5 panels?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
definitely.
Good deal.
I mean, it's gonna. I mean, the road up here, they should have no problem with
Gotcha.
it. So.
Yeah, that is a consideration. All right. Well, thanks for your time. Another weird left hand shake.
No
Appreciate
problem.
it. We'll see you soon.
Good to see you again.
Does anyone else do the between the leg zip roll move? I think it's the best.
I think it's pretty good.
I'm using our oldest Pass Load XP nailer here, and Jono just pointed out that it says clean filter often, and he asked me if I'd been doing that, and I said no. I don't know if I've ever cleaned it, so we're gonna check that out and see. Yeah, so there you go. This gun is feeling pretty warm, and that's probably why. Yeah, I mean, as you can see, it's like a oily and sawdust mixed together, which I'm sure closes off the air movement. Just like your air filter in your car, I guess. Except smaller, thinner, and it's in a nail gun. So Jason's down here salvaging the rest of our roof panels, which we used as a walking surface on this deck to do the rest of the house. So unfortunately, we gotta peel them up now, and he's replacing with something else. Do we have enough panels to sort of make a walkway out of something else?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay.
I mean, this is kind of hodgepodge in there. But I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. I mean, I probably have 15, 17 more sheets I pulled up.
Okay.
I don't know how that's gonna do for us.
Do something.
I mean, it's better than
nothing. We try not to use our final decking as the surface we're finishing the house on, like painting, siding, dragging scaffold. It can really tend to mess up the decking, and then you have to cover it with these panels anyway. So we just decided to start using the panels instead of decking until all the siding and painting is done on the outside. I keep knocking the leaves off the time I get back down to the other end. The wind's blown a bunch more over my line.
I wonder why.
Yeah, nice windy fall day to do your zippity doo dah. All right, we clear? Here's the camera, Jamie.
Okay, this thing.
Right here.
All right.
You lay under there and tell us what you did.
Okay.
You've been under there a long time, and I know you got a lot to say about whatever it is.
I mean, I was thinking this even to myself that it was taking a long time to achieve what I'm doing here.
All right, perfect.
Okay.
There you go.
Oh, good. Thanks. How do you start it?
I just handed Jamie a camera and told him to explain something. We'll see how this goes.
You know
Can you hear
exactly
him?
how it's gonna go.
I thought he was on the phone.
No.
No. Oh gosh.
Well, here we are under the soffit, hanging out. It's kind of a tight space, and it's very important that the flashing details get done properly here. So I've installed this piece of wood here that is simply a spacer, really. It is a 2x4, but it's actually 4 inches. So is it a 2x4? I don't know. I'm gonna have a piece of flashing that comes down the wall here, and you can see that this is already, I'm gonna call it pre-flashed. This self-sticking membrane goes down the wall, turns the corner, and out the roof. So it's already sealed. It's kind of rubbery too, so it self-seals any penetrations like these screws here and here. So that's nice. At any rate, I'm going to make a metal flashing that comes down the vertical surface about 3 inches. It's going to turn out flat and go over top of this, but it's actually not going to be flat. It's going to be sloped like a roof, so any water that gets on it will actually come out and over and drop down. Then the metal roofing will go right here on top of this 3/4 pack out, and the entire roof surface will get packed out with strips of 3/4 yellow pine boards. Now this is a piece of Advantech, and it's the only piece that will be Advantech on the roof, but it's up under here and it'll hold a screw just fine. At any rate, the first piece of metal will actually be bent with the edge turned up. It will go up this wall and go up behind my flashing, making like a little interlocking kind of joint there. And I gotta crawl up here and show you something really great about this. Here we go. All right, this last little piece of wood right here is going to stay exactly where it is, and it's going to be exposed in the finish. So this is the finished material. And you probably can't see, but there's about 1/8 of an inch gap behind that piece to the green zip board. And the purpose for that, and I intentionally spaced it out that way so that my metal flashing will slide up and go behind it very easily all the way to the very point right up there. so that the flashing runs continuous up this wall until it literally contacts the bottom surface of the roof above it. When that gets installed, and everything under here will be completely flashed properly. I'm really excited about that. I hope everyone else is too. It's been fun hanging out under the soffit with you.
We finally reached the peak of our roof. It's a single pitch, so it's not really a peak. But a full sheet will not reach all the way. So in an effort to make everything stronger and have these tie back better, we're gonna put a small piece here between these two purlins, and then it will reach in a full piece. So those pieces are tied back further into the house. Not really sure if that matters or not.
Yeah,
but,
it matters.
Oh, it does? He says it matters. Okay, it matters. And one of the reasons being is that we're just attaching with short screws to all this overhang material, so we don't want nails to pop through.
Ramel down there, she's watching the videos that we make of us building her house.
But we're actually here building the
We're
house.
here doing it right now, but she'd rather watch the video that you made. Ramel, what are you watching? Oh, good.
What is that?
It's our next piece.
No, Jones.
Dude, I don't see how that's
This is
going
why I
on.
came down and cut it, because I knew you wouldn't believe me.
I seriously, I don't even believe him. I'm standing up here looking at where it goes.
This is the right cut.
Really?
I think. Coming at you, Jones.
I'm not even gonna let him just tell me it was right. I gotta go check this shit out myself.
Boom.
You're smart, we're dumb, you're right, we're wrong.
So that ridge cap can go right through here, and then water will just go down through there. Faux sheet. Faux sheet. Hello. There's Ramel. It's about 4 o'clock and we're wrapping up the last few panels. We're out of screws. Jamie left with the zip tape, and I think we're like out of boards. So what we're gonna do is only put those where the zip tape is going, because we can screw everywhere else later. We're gonna use this stretch tape and cut it in half, like rip it down the middle so that we get 2 pieces about the same width as our regular zip tape, because I don't wanna leave this thing with gaps over the weekend, because it might rain and ruin all of our tongue and groove. So we're gonna get it done, just roundabout ways. We got it done with 0 screws left and about 1/10 of a roll of zip tape. So I'm happy with that. And I'm happy that's done, and it looks great, and it looks super flat, and it feels super strong. So I'm super happy. Thanks for building with us.